Hi everyone, I am Yongting Fu and I am joined today by Nicole Shilawala. We are presenting on behalf of our four-member team, including Emily Ludman and Emily Gorman at the Health Sciences and Human Services Library at University of Maryland, Baltimore, on using a transferable database to capture and reuse search expertise. So during our presentation, we will share the problems we encountered over the years of offering the evidence synthesis services and the solutions that we came up. And by the end, we hope to provide some practical takeaways for the attendees. So without further ado, let's start with the problems we were trying to solve. Um, so the evidence synthesis services at the Health Sciences Library was launched in 2013. Over the years, we have completed around 531 reviews. That's only like under count. We probably have more over the course of the launch. Our statistics show that demand for evidence synthesis service is both high and steadily growing. The complex search requests we receive from wide variety of disciplines require specialized expertise and are time intensive. So our team strategies were scattered across project folders, emails, and personal files. This fragmentation leads to a loss of institutional knowledge and often results in team members reinventing the wheel. As our team recognized the reoccurrence of similar concepts across the reviews, we realized that a significant portion of these 500 plus reviews represents a valuable but underutilized resource. This insight highlighted a clear opportunity to improve reuse and efficiency. So why does reuse matter beyond convenience? It improves efficiency by reducing duplicate effort, making search decisions more visible, also supports clearer and more consistent documentation. In addition, reuse helps support methodologically sound reviews and aligns with PRISMA-S reporting practices. For our team, reuse is not just about efficiency, it's about strengthening the overall quality of research. Next slide, please. To understand our solution, it's helpful to first understand our environment at University of Maryland at Baltimore. We call it UMB. So UMB is an R1 research institution that supports 6 professional schools across 5 disciplines. That includes medicine, dentistry, pharmacy, social work, and nursing. And the Health Sciences and Human Services Library supports all of them. We receive not only a wide variety of requests, but also an increasing volume year over year. To keep pace with this growing demand, we need scalable workflows and a greater standardization among us. Next, please. The evidence synthesis service team is made up of all 7 research and education librarians in the information services department. We receive approximately 75 review requests each year, and requests are assigned based on librarians' availability rather than subject expertise. This distribution model highlights the need for a shared knowledge system rather than relying on a single expert for each topic. To support this approach, we needed a solution that works for everyone, leading us to our current system. Our team has relied on an in-house system to manage our system evidence synthesis service since 2019. This system, which we call the Evidence Synthesis Portal, allows us to track the status of review projects by managing new requests, monitoring progress, and updating records as needed. For many years, its functionality remained fairly standard. However, we began to explore whether the portal could evolve into a searchable knowledge repository to provide greater flexibility, autonomy, and sustainability. To support this vision, we worked with our in-house programmer to enable the upload of Word documents which contain detailed search strategies, so those information could be stored within the system. We also added searchable tags, which are similar to PubMed's author-provided keywords, and made all other key fields such as title, search question, and other metadata fields fully searchable. At this point, the evidence synthesis portal evolved from a tracking system into a knowledge reuse database. So let's take a quick look at what the portal actually looks like. This is the landing page for our portal. It includes ID numbers, the claim button, and the status categories. Once we receive an email notification via the email, we can either click the claim button via the email, or we come here to claim the requests. As you can see here, the portal shows structured workflow at intake stage. Once records are in, the real power comes from searching. So this is the page shows retrieval functionality. For example, if search diabetes in the right top search box, which will pull up all related projects containing the word diabetes. This enables us to quickly discover any relevant past searches and to identify reusable search strategies. The clickable ID number at a beginning of each record opens the complete record that contains the detailed, reusable components, including the attached Word documents. This simply transforms past work into accessible assets. So here you can see a portion of a completed record. Each record contains key project details such as request information, the research question text, and the citation information if the review has been published. Most importantly, it includes the attached search strategy, which allows us to quickly adapt and rebuild a search for similar topic as needed. Compared to our previous approach where materials were scattered across multiple locations, this portal now functions not just as a tracking tool, but as a centralized knowledge archive. Within this system, search strategies are preserved, adapted, and reusable. So this is a summary of how everything fits together into our current workflow. A request is submitted and the team get alert. The librarian came to claim and the search is developed. Once the search is completed, it is uploaded into the portal and then the search strategy will be findable and become reusable for future projects. So this enables today's work become resource for tomorrow. In particular, reuse is built directly into our current workflow rather than an afterthought. Now I will hand it over to Nicole to talk about why we choose this approach and how it compares to other options.
Thanks, Ting. So at this point, you might be thinking, public repositories for search strategies, like Search Archive, for example, they already exist. So why are we not using those instead? And public repositories are definitely valuable. We absolutely support broader sharing of search strategies, but we found that this local internal portal that we've developed better supports our own institutional workflow and culture. So the truth is that contributing a strategy to a public archive, which again, we do wholeheartedly support, but it can be intimidating and time-consuming. You may not want to or be able to contribute every single evidence synthesis search you've ever done to a public archive. For one thing, only a fraction of the searches we work on ever make it to publication. And we want to preserve all of the work that we've done because it's all valuable as an institutional resource. One other thing is Search Archive requires posting each database strategy separately. Again, this is just time consuming both on the search side and the upload side. So our internal portal, by contrast, not only allows us to host all of our strategies for our most used databases in one central place, but it also makes our own personal strategies and those of our team findable. Um, so we were already sharing and saving our strategies in a central SharePoint folder. The challenge was not necessarily in preserving those strategies, it was making them findable again. How many times have you said to yourself, I know I've worked on a search for this particular topic before, or I know my team member has, and then you go back and you start looking through 10 or 20 or 50 or 100 of your previous past search strategies, just trying to find that one particular one that you're looking for, because the topic that you're looking for might not be listed in the title of the document or the folder. So by adding just this simple metadata and tagged fields to our existing database, it made all of those strategies findable, and it preserves institutional and team knowledge in a very simple way that is easy to contribute to because it's part of our existing workflow that Ting just outlined. And it requires much less effort to maintain than contributing every strategy to an external repository. So if you are not as lucky as we are to have a software developer on our team, you can still build something very similar yourself. Our portal can be reproduced pretty easily with something like Microsoft LESSS. Our keynote speaker yesterday also talked about using Airtable as an evidence synthesis tracker. That is also a possibility as well, although you will probably have to pay for it. But essentially, if you're not familiar with Microsoft LISS, it is a very simple database. Most institutions, including ours, are reliant on Microsoft products, and Microsoft LISS is usually bundled in with those. It is collaborative, which is important, meaning multiple people can work on the same project. And the key thing is that it is both searchable and filterable. It's also very easy to maintain. It doesn't require any specialized technical expertise, and it doesn't require a software developer to customize for yourself. So a few years ago, our team did investigate the possibility of switching to either Microsoft LISS or Airtable as an evidence synthesis tracker instead of using our portal. So the screenshot you're seeing now comes from that investigation that we did. You'll see these first few columns here just detail the requester's information, their name, email, affiliation, and status. And then the last few columns have information about the review itself. So what type of review is it? Who is the librarian assigned? What is the request date? And what stage is the review at? So those are the key fields that you need if you just want to build a tracker for yourself. And then the last things that we added on to make those search strategies findable, you just need a few more fields. Make sure you are capturing the full research question so that the whole thing is searchable. And then you may want to add some extra keyword tags as well, just to capture any other concepts that are not listed in the research question. And then you want to make sure you are attaching or linking a document with your search strategies. So in summary, the problem that we started with was that we were losing knowledge and search expertise since our service had started 13 years ago. This search expertise is obviously a valuable resource. Previous searches can be built upon or adapted for new searches, can even be reused in whole. So our solution to make this search expertise findable was to build in a tagged search field into our existing evidence synthesis tracker, as well as uploading our search strategies to it. That supports transparency, reproducibility, and preserves our institutional expertise. And you can reproduce this in your own institution with simple tools like Microsoft LISS or Airtable. And if you have any follow-up questions, you can email our team at evidencesynthesis@hshsl.umaryland.edu.